Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, you guys requested it by a landslide. I did a poll on Instagram yesterday asking whether you guys wanted to see something super dramatic and bold and bright, or if you wanted to see a fresh face makeup look for my first video of 2019, and you guys voted for fresh face, which I think is pretty fitting for the new year and for my first video back after the holidays. If you'd like to be a part of future polls and deciding on which videos are going to be going on my channel and you want to have a say in future videos, make sure to follow me on Instagram and look out in my stories for future polls. This is a makeup look that I do when I want to just kind of look like a natural beauty. Like, I woke up like this. I mean, we all know like I don't look like this when I wake up, but this is kind of the makeup look that I do. It's sort of my no makeup look. So if you want to see how I achieve this makeup look right here, then just keep on watching. No matter what kind of makeup I'm doing, I always start with the Sonia Roselli Water Balm. I absolutely love this product. It makes my skin feel just so good and soft, and obviously I'm using this after I have washed my face and I've done a toner. So this is kind of my moisturizer that I put on underneath the foundation for this type of makeup look. Once that's been given time to kind of soak into the skin, the next thing I'm going to do is I take a concealer and I go over all of the spots on my face that need a little bit extra coverage. As you'll see in the next step, I don't use a super full coverage foundation for this type of makeup look, so I need a little extra help on the days that I have blemishes, which is usually every day. But yeah, so I just kind of take some concealer and blot on those little blemishes all over, just to help give me the coverage that I'm looking for. And for this, I am using the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. This is the only concealer I use. I swear by this concealer. It's just amazing. I've never had a concealer that works as good as this. So for this step, instead of just blending it out with a beauty sponge, what I'm going to do is take my finger and do circular motions around the blemish, because I don't want to pat on top of the blemish and remove the product that we've placed there. I want to make sure that it's just nicely blended out so that the consistency and thickness of the concealer that we put on the blemish is still there, but we're blending it out on the edges. And since it's going to be under foundation, it's not really going to be seen too well that there is a circle of concealer, but you do want to make sure that you blend it out nicely. You could use a sponge for this or a brush if you wanted, but I just feel like I have the most control when I am using my fingers. So again, same thing for every single blemish. If you do have really dark circles under your eyes, I would consider putting the concealer under the foundation, since this is supposed to be more of a fresh face makeup look and not super highlighted or contoured. So if you feel like you want to put some concealer under there, you can totally go for it. I don't typically do that because I don't really typically wear a whole lot on my face for this look. So the next step that I do is the foundation, and for this type of makeup look, I have been loving the Benefit Hello Happy Soft Blur Foundation. And the reasoning for that is because it has a light to medium coverage, so you can basically build the coverage that you want and make it as full coverage as you need to. So depending on the day, how many breakouts I have or what I need to conceal, I'll do 1 to 2 coats of it. At first, I was not in love with this foundation, but as I started wearing it just to run errands or just kind of even out my skin tone, I actually noticed that it stayed on my face like all day, and I was very surprised with that. And I don't typically go for light to medium coverage foundations, but for this type of makeup look and for an everyday makeup look, I highly recommend this foundation. So I'm gonna go in, I'm hoping the shade matches. I have a spray tan on, so I'm using the shade 4. I don't know if this is right. I do have shade 3, so that might have been better. But I'm also going in with a Practic blending sponge. So I absolutely love these blending sponges, and if you're not using a sponge to do your makeup, you're truly missing out because it completely airbrushes your makeup. But the Practic blending sponges are the same, if not better in quality as the actual beauty blender, and they only cost $9. So I'm gonna put a link below for you guys if you want to check out their website, but they are the sister company to Sigma. So obviously, you know, you're getting good quality because I love Sigma brushes and I use them all the time in my videos. So definitely check them out if you're interested in finding a new affordable sponge. So with this foundation, you do have to shake it a little bit before the use because it's very liquidy, as you will see, and that just goes to show that it is in fact a light to medium foundation. So I just take a little bit on my sponge and I start on the outer edges of my face and blend out all around. So this is what one layer of the foundation looks like, and for most people I feel like that would be pretty good. In fact, it's really not that bad on my skin either, but I have a lot of breakouts that I want to try to cover a little bit more. I'm not gonna get the full coverage effect with this foundation, but I think if I do just another like half layer around just the areas that are troublesome, I think that will be best for me. So that is the second layer that I've applied, just kind of around my problem areas, and I like that a lot better, so that's probably where I'm going to stop with the foundation. If you typically have dry skin, you can probably skip this step, but because I have oily skin and I do want this to last all day, I'm going to take a little bit of setting powder, just the tiniest amount, and just place it with this blending sponge on my T-zone. So I'm using the Ben Nye setting powder, and I'm just placing this under my eye, where my pores are just a tad larger, to help soak up oils throughout the day. And I'm also gonna place it just on my forehead area and probably a little bit on my chin. I like this setting powder because I feel like it works really well and it helps blurs any imperfection on your face, and then also it doesn't give any flashbacks. So you know how if you go out to a party or you're being photographed and it looks like you have white powder under your eyes, this doesn't do that. It just soaks right into the skin and just kind of almost gives an airbrush finish. The next step that I do is I take the Benefit Dandelion powder, and it looks like this. I've definitely used quite a bit of it, but it's just the perfect blush pink, and I love this blush. It is my go-to blush for an everyday soft makeup look because it just goes on so nicely and it's not too pigmented. It goes on pretty natural, so I just kind of build it up on my cheeks just to give it a little bit of color. And then this next step is completely optional, so if you don't want to do something like this, you can just disregard this next step, but I like to also take the Benefit Dandelion Twinkle powder. So it's kind of the same idea of the Dandelion pink tone, but it has a nice shimmer to it. So what this does pretty much is just helps lift the apples of your cheeks, and it gives a nice glow without going all out on the highlighter. So I'll just take the same blush brush and focus it on the apples of my cheeks. And I just feel like it adds a nice subtle glow. It makes the skin look so healthy. I mean, I feel like you can totally see the difference from that side to this side. It just looks really nice. So depending on what look you're going for, there's two setting sprays that I really love. One is obviously the Urban Decay All Nighter, but another one I really like is the Dalton Skin Reviving Setting Mist. This is made with coconut water, I believe. Yes, coconut water, coconut oil, I mean, all the good stuff for your skin. And it just makes my skin feel so refreshed. I feel like it makes it look a little bit more hydrated, and it also helps keep my makeup in place all day, and it's really good for refreshing my makeup throughout the day. So I typically keep one of these handy in my purse if I know I'm gonna be gone all day, but it just feels so good all over the face. I love it. I've already like halfway gone with this one already, but I just really like it. I feel like it makes the skin look so healthy and just glowy. So this is probably one I use mostly for this look, just to have that fresh face. The Urban Decay is great for keeping makeup in place all day, but I like this more for like the more full coverage look. This is just more of a lighter weight, natural feeling. It smells amazing. just really like it. So when it comes to natural makeup, I obviously want to do my brows pretty natural looking, so I'm going in with the Benefit Foolproof Brow Powder. It looks like that. And on the inside, it really helps show you what to use on which part of the brow. So obviously from the inner corner to the middle of the brow, you're going to be using this color. And from the outer corner to the center, you're going to be wanting to use that color and kind of help blend the two in together. I'm also going to be taking the Benefit angle brush as well to do this with a spoolie. Next, I'm going to take the Highbrow Benefit pencil. So that I'm just going to place so this just adds like a little glow on the brow bone, and it kind of helps shape up the brows a little bit without doing all of that concealer work with like carving them out and everything. And for a little extra something something, you can take the Dandelion Twinkle powder again, and you can take just a tiny bit of that and place it on the brow bone to help highlight. If you wanted to do that step, you definitely don't have to, but. Then I'm taking the Urban Decay 24-Hour Brow Setter just to keep my brows in place. So now moving on, I don't typically do any sort of eyeshadow for this look. So we're going to move right on to the lashes, and one of the last steps that I do is take the Urban Decay Perversion mascara. You guys have heard me talk about this in the past few videos. It is my absolute favorite mascara right now. And what I do with mascara on days when I'm not trying to do too much makeup and just be fresh faced is I try to focus the mascara just on the outer lashes. I feel like it helps lift up the eyes, especially if you're like me and you have hooded eyelashes or hooded eyelids. I just felt like it completely changes the way that, I mean, you can see the difference. It completely lifts the eye by focusing it on the outer corner. And I'll do a little bit on the inner, but really I want to focus it on the outer, and sometimes I'll even do 2 coats on the outer corner. It just kind of depends on how I'm feeling that day. Now if you have a little extra time, something that I will do if I'm feeling it, if I'm in the mood and I just feel like these lashes aren't enough, is I will add the Ardell Demi Wispies. These are very, very natural looking, and I'll basically show you how to apply them and make them look natural. So first what you're going to want to do is you remove it from the packaging, and I kind of wrap it around my finger just to help it bend and be a little bit more flexible. These are super flexible as they are because they don't have a super thick band, but I do it just because. The next step is obviously to glue them on your lashes, and my absolute favorite lash glue is the Kiss Stripless adhesive in the latex free. I don't know why it works so well, it just does, and I'm addicted. I've been using this lash glue for about a year and I have 0 complaints. It's extremely tacky and it works wonders. So before you apply these lashes, you're just going to want to let them kind of air out a little bit and dry to the lash band, and you just want to keep bending them and playing with them. I feel like this makes it so easy to apply these to your lash line if they are flexible. So now that they've kind of been sitting for a hot minute, I'm just going to place them down like so. And they're gonna look a little funky right now. They're not gonna look natural. You're just gonna leave them as is. I promise you they will not look this crazy and thick once they dry. I just need to give them a little bit of time to dry and to get comfortable on my lash line. So we're just gonna let that dry. We're not playing with them. We're just gonna leave it be, and once they're dry, I'll explain to you how to get them to look more natural. So now that they've had a little bit of time to dry, I'm just going to take my finger and sort of pinch the lash band and my lashes together. If you feel more comfortable, you could use tweezers, but I prefer to be a little more cautious and use my fingertips. If you decide to do a touch of mascara on your lower lashes, I recommend doing a waterproof, just in case your eyes run throughout the day. You really don't want mascara running down fresh face makeup. So I just put a tad of this L'Oreal Waterproof Voluminous Carbon Black. Just a touch of it, just to kind of widen the eyes a bit. And then finally for the lips, what I typically do is I go in with a Doll 10 lip crayon. So I usually go in with Call the Shots, which looks like this right here. And I just like these because they feel really good on the lips. They feel really moisturizing and comfortable, and like it basically feels like chapstick on your lips, but it's colored. And for some reason I just love this color. Alright guys, so that's it for this makeup look. Hopefully you enjoyed it. There is a ton of different ways to do this. You can take from it what you want to implement into your own everyday makeup routine, but this is just what I really enjoy doing. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure if you enjoyed this video to give it a big thumbs up, and if you aren't already, to hit that subscribe button down below, and I will see you guys next time.